Hi, hello, and welcome to a new episode of Release. I'm your host, Adriana Alia, and I'm so honored and grateful that you've taken the time to listen to what I have to say. And today, I wanted to start out by saying thank you for being here, for listening to my voice, for listening to my words. I know it's been a while since I have come on here and shared, but life has been lifing. So all of the things that I was trying to plan for release has been put on hold for a little bit. But as we are currently experiencing a Scorpio full moon and a new month, happy May, I felt really called to share today. And this morning when I woke up, the first thing on my mind was that no experience is ever wasted. So if you have listened for a while, or if you follow me on social media, you may know that I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I do not currently directly work in the field of psychology, or I don't directly use my degree. And I have had conversations with older individuals, relatives, that basically tell me that I'm wasting my life because I am not, quote unquote, using my degree. And I am so blessed because of the type of degree that I have, right? And at first I had a very closed-minded opinion and thought about this, because at first I agreed with these people. I was saying that, I'm not working in a therapist's office, or I'm not working on research, or listing out all of the quote-unquote typical psychology jobs, and kind of battling with the reality that the job market is kind of garbage right now. And after applying over and over and over and over and over and over and over to so many jobs, and basically creating my own jobs and working with people and recognizing that, oh my God, I'm working in my field. Oh my God. Because before I graduated, my desire has always been to help people. And when I was getting close to graduation, I realized that the typical route that people take, or the academic route, felt disconnected, because I was spending time, being at hospitals and going to the doctor and getting diagnosed, and feeling not only the disconnection of the way that mental health is treated, especially as a woman and a Black woman, but the callousness that the healthcare system has. And again, there are obviously many, many moving parts, but when I was put into spaces dedicated to mental health, I didn't feel like the root of my problem was being addressed. And I believe that that is one of the things that I struggle with personally, as someone who is kind of taking a more holistic route with their healing. Like, yes, I'm not anti-medicine. I'm not anti-medication. I just believe that there is more to your health than the symptoms, right? There's a root, and your symptoms or your diagnosis, that is the flowering of that plant, right? And as I've been diving more into holistic healing and learning more about different holistic practices and practicing more holistic practices, I have recognized that we really, as a society, we have so many rules in place, and not only direct, obvious rules, but we have a lot of underlying rules that obviously shift based on the country that you're in, even the city or the town that you're in, your race, stuff like that. It all can, everyone's experience can vary so wildly. And as I've been on my own journey of exploring my own culture and my own intersectional experience, I have recognized that these limits that we put on ourselves and this rigidity that we have is not a very human trait. It is a trait that has been designed to keep us in line, right? And as I have really looked recently, I had to write out my CV, and it is a lot more detailed than, I guess, a typical resume. And while looking at this piece of paper, looking at this document, looking at all the things that I've done between the time that I graduated and now, I have realized that I've been using my degree. When I come into these spaces, I come as someone who has the knowledge and someone who wants to share that knowledge. And I also recognize that the things that I do talk about are very, very vulnerable and very sensitive topics. So I try my best to speak about them with the utmost grace, right? And as I've been thinking about the stuff that I do and the way that others may diminish my work and say, oh, well, you don't have a quote unquote normal job, right? Because to them, a quote unquote normal job is a 9 to 5. It's you go to a building, you clock in, you sit in that building and you do a specific type of task or set of tasks. And then when the time is up, you clock out and you forget about that building and you leave and you do it all again. And for me, that structure just doesn't resonate. And I have to admit that I have, of course, had jobs, regular 9 to 5 jobs, but I have also applied to regular 9 to 5 jobs simply to try to get the pressure of family and society off my ass. But the universe has put me in a position where I have to do this thing. I have to create this space. I have to use my gifts and talents to do the thing that I know that I am called here to do. And that thing is to help, right? And all of this to say that in this time that I have been I'm gonna call myself the side quest queen. I've been going to basically do everything that appeals to my desires and my passions and my talents, because I do a lot of things and I love a lot of things. And saying yes has really opened up the world for me. And although to others, the things that I do may not necessarily seem connected and they may seem confused about why I'm not explicitly going after something in my field, I've recognized that nothing, people say like, nothing exists in a vacuum and everything is connected, but for real, nothing exists in a vacuum. Everything is connected. And the reason why I'm trying to emphasize that is because everything that you have done that you've thought, oh, like that's just a throwaway, I'm not gonna need that, that's not connected to my degree, or that's not connected to my passions, there's a skill in there that you are learning that you will have to apply to that dream. You will have to apply to that passion. And as someone who, I've worked in a restaurant before, and I felt those feelings of being like, this is not connected to specifically to my dream, right? And although I love food and I love cooking, I didn't necessarily feel like at that time the environment of that restaurant and my dream, even my dream of cooking and sharing my food with others, was aligned. But as I look back at it now, I recognize that being in an environment like that, it definitely teaches you things. It teaches you things like flexibility. It teaches you things about boundaries. It teaches you things about multitasking. It teaches you things about professionalism, responsibility, and the list goes on and on and on. And as I go on this journey of life, and as I am like I said, the side quest queen, I have recognized that no opportunity is ever too little, and no opportunity is meaningless, right? So if you are being called into a space that feels aligned in your spirit, right? And you're like, oh my God, this thing sounds really cool, but they're not paying me enough, or they're not paying me at all, and it's not aligned. I'm going to actually go back to the money part, because the money part is a really, really big thing. And it's a really, really big deterrent for a lot of people, because there are a lot of opportunities that I've done that I feel super duper 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 aligned with. And again, when I tell someone from like the older generation, my parents, etc., their first question is always, so are you getting paid? Why are you wasting time if you're not getting paid? And to them, when you're putting out your energy and you're doing work, because they don't feel super aligned with their work that they're doing, their 9 to 5s, usually when that question is asked, they're asking you, so what is the reward for doing this thing, going out of your way to do this thing? Right? They just can't understand that you would go out of your way to simply, enjoy your passion or to connect with others. And I try my best to ignore the money question. I try to just move around it, because I have had some very, 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 very fulfilling experiences that have nothing to do with money, nothing to do with getting paid, but simply being around other creatives, simply listening to others' thoughts, simply being able to network. I do believe that those things are priceless. And I genuinely believe that if you are building a business, or if you're building a community, or if you are kind of spearheading something that is a novel field or a novel way of going about things, do not let people that don't understand your dream or understand your vision discourage you. And a lot of people may not understand your dream. A lot of people may tell you that it's stupid. They may tell you to do it differently. They may tell you that it's never going to work. But that is not their dream. They are not meant to understand it. You are meant to understand it. And that desire, that dream is yours to hold and yours to plant and watch it grow. So if you have to go to networking events and build your community on foot, if you have to do a few free events, if you have to, whatever it is that you have to do that feels aligned, then do that thing. Do that thing. Go to that place. There may be something waiting there for you that may not feel directly aligned, but there may be something waiting there for you. And again, I'm not going to say that I am saying, money's never an issue and you should never work for money. But I believe that if you're in a space and you feel aligned with that space, you should do it regardless of the money. But if you're being called into a space and someone is calling you into that space and saying that they want to pay you for your work, or if you are creating a space where you are asking others to pay you for your work, I believe in accessible payment, but I also believe in paying people their worth. I also believe in allowing people to be able to profit from their passions, but I don't think that at the forefront of everybody's passions, profit should be the goal. I really hope that makes sense. Yeah, so my final thoughts on this is no opportunity is wasted. It is all working out. It has already worked out. Even if you don't see it working out, even if you don't see the dots connecting, the dots are connecting. So, yeah, that's all I have for you today. I love you. Please take care of yourself. And as the summer is approaching us here in the Northern Hemisphere, please go out and enjoy the sun. Go out and enjoy the weather. Stay hydrated. Spend some time with your loved ones. And I will talk to you so soon. Bye.